arousal is defined as being an emerged mental state being ready to perform. High arousal can be thought of being psyched up for the event, and low arousal is when a person experiences an inability to get up for an occasion. As an arousal levels increases, so does performance. Therefore, high arousal means better performance. More research into this rather simplistic theory led to the recognition that a performer's dominant response may affect arousal. The term dominant response relates to the performer's more likely response. A beginner's dominant response is to make mistakes and perform the skills incorrectly, and an experienced performer's dominant response is to perform the skill accurately and consistently. A beginner with high arousal will perform worse because their incorrect dominant response will emerge, whereas an experienced performer will perform better since his or her correct dominant response will be performed. Performance is at the best when arousal levels are moderate. Too much or too little arousal means a decline in performance. The inverted U theory was adapted to take these factors into account. The shape remains an inverted U, but the curve is moved to the left for those performers, and tasks best suited to low levels of arousal, and to the right for performers and tasks suited to high arousal levels. Some sports performers in some situations, it is obviously not applicable to all. For weightlifters who need to be really psyched up before performing, this is because he knows what he needs to do every time, and they know how much they can lift because they've practiced it before. A snooker player who needs to be calm and relaxed effectively, this is because he can practice as much as he wants. But when it comes to that game, he might get a shot that he's never done before, and needs everyone to be quiet so he can think about what they're going to do before they do the shot. Inverted U theory was adapted to take these factors into account. The shape remains an inverted U, but the curve is moved to the left for those performers and tasks suit the low levels of arousal, and to the right performers and tasks suit to high levels of arousal. Some people have a dramatic decline in performance when their arousal levels become too high. The inverted U theory suggests that when performers become over-aroused, this means that there is a gradual decline in performance, but this does not account for those who appear to lose it and suffer from a complete collapse.
As arousal increases, so does performance, but with this theory suggests that this high level of arousal can have a decline in sports performance when you get to a certain point. For example, in the dying minutes of a game where the score is tied and you get a gifted opportunity to take a penalty, these arousal levels could cause you to miss that penalty. This theory suggests that as arousal levels increase to a moderate level, then so does performance, but if it gets too high, then performance starts to decline. The performer can then begin to worry, and this is known as cognitive anxiety. This combination of high arousal levels and cognitive anxieties causes a dramatic decline in performance. This is defined as catastrophe. Peak flow is a level at which sports performers reach if they are at the top of their game. They reach their peak if the degree of difficulty of the task offers enough of a challenge to suit their ability. People who are presented with this challenge might be motivated to perform at their best, increasing their arousal levels and their sports performance. The zone is when the performer reaches their peak. The zone produces the following characteristics for the performer who is lucky enough to reach it. They will experience extreme confidence, success is expected, automatic control where skills are performed with little conscious control, extreme focus where you are totally absorbed in the performance and you experience effortless where things go smoothly. Firstly, the effect of being over-aroused can be because of the overabundance of confidence, which can lead to the athlete trying things that wouldn't go to plan or wouldn't usually be done. They are more motivated to win, and by winning it will further increase arousal levels and the meaning of that win. However, if you were under aroused when going into play, then they are more likely to underperform, having a negative effect on the outcome of the game. This under arousal, like having a negative effect on performance, could vary depending on whether the athlete is competing in a team-based sport or an individual. For example, someone who plays in a team-based sport, their under arousal could have a negative effect on the rest of the team. They could not be as enthusiastic and not pay attention, and the opposition could get past. Attention narrowing is when you focus on a particular stimuli. This attention narrowing means that the performer tends to ignore important cues of important bits of information. Back to if the athlete is being over-aroused or under-aroused, the athlete can be in an individual sport like tennis, and their over-arousal has a negative effect on their performance, meaning that they lose, but not the team, and they can't pass the blame on.